This is the men's room.
Forget it, man, and get with the countdown. Shake this square world and blast off for Kicksville. The Crippers, the Grasshoppers, the Hip Ones, all gathered in secrecy and flying high as a kite.
You're listening to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Racial consultant standing by, caller 9844999. Ola will play Profile This in minutes. And we've got your headlines on the way 1 hour from now. First, quick check-in to Mike Hawk for some of the stories and headlines he is not working on.
All right, a 34-year-old man in Mesa, Arizona was arrested for arson after he set fire to the city's $40,000 Christmas tree.
Oh, man.
Damn. Hello, Grinch.
Oh,
Right?
what a bummer.
I'm wondering if he doesn't live close by and the thing was just shining into his window, or if he truly just does hate Christmas.
He lit up a town's Christmas tree.
I don't think it's just the glare in his bedroom.
Yeah.
There's got to be something. You don't just light the tree on fire.
Oh, sure you do if you're crazy.
Maybe.
Not only that, man, but it's dry in Arizona. Christmas trees are dry already. I mean, think about what's happening in California because of the dry weather. I mean, hell, those have roots. I mean, they couldn't have taken much.
You know, the Grinch didn't even light people's S on fire. Right?
That just sounds like a crazy
It's not like before he left the house, he lit a match.
Yeah.
And little Lucy Lou, whatever the hell her name was, burnt to a crisp. I mean, he did not burn anything down.
That's probably one of the most depressing sights that I can actually think of is a burnt up Christmas tree.
Well, I'm sure the city only has the lights and the ornaments for the one tree, so once the whole thing's torched, I mean, it's
just this big, standing, charred, destroyed bit of happiness.
You know what? An angel lost their wings.
You know what? I'm going to bad news next. The FCC
Mike, you ever seen a Christmas tree go up?
Go up?
Like when it catches fire?
No.
You've never seen anything like
Dude, it is unbelievable.
It's so quick.
I'm sure. And I'm sure it's like your soul burning.
Do you have a live tree in your place, Mike?
Not yet. I'm doing that this weekend.
Okay, make sure you put a lot of water in there.
I do.
Okay.
Don't have a dry soul, Mike.
I have always been in charge of watering the tree, even when I was living at home, so I have no doubt in my mind that I can water
And Mike,
this tree.
have fun with it. You could take it like, I had a buddy that had a huge fire pit in his backyard, so we would do it like after Christmas. We would just take the dry trees and throw them in the fire pit.
And they do. They go up quick.
You just do it in your apartment complex somewhere. Just
Bonfire!
Right.
The FCC voted to repeal net neutrality, and there was a bomb threat right before the vote, and the room was evacuated. But they came back, and the 5 commissioners voted 3-2 to kill it.
Of course they did.
A bomb threat before the vote.
That's everyone to go to, but you still have to take the precautions.
That's whatever side you're on. The idea that
that's not the way to go.
5 people have a vote in this seems, I don't know, a little
Came
bit
down to 5.
Seems like a low number. Like, how do you get in on that 5? You know,
I like how the headline here after it is, here's how it could affect your free porn consumption. That's a massive issue right now.
Sure it is. What's Ted Cruz going to do? We know what he's
His
into.
wife, maybe.
You think he's like, wait a minute, did I vote on that?
Oh, man.
God damn it. You didn't cover that.
Did I accidentally favorite that?
Must have been someone else at my desk.
I like it.
Oh, no, we got to upgrade.
BigBlackBitches.com. I'm as shocked as you are, I assure you. We will find the perpetrator. Let us put barely legal pickle collectors from Indonesia.porn on my computer.
Adventurous Asians is down.
I have nothing to do with that.
Adventurous Asians, huh?
Dead searching while he can. A college in England apologized this week after one of their Twitter posts asked... Let me start over. A college in England apologized this week after one of their Twitter posts asked if their students were, quote, dreaming of a white campus.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Why would you send that out?
Are you dreaming of a white campus?
Why would you send that out and not think there's going to be a repercussion? I'm dreaming of a white
Do they have to get into that much
campus.
trouble? You knew where they were going. It was a dumb
Where all
slip
the
up.
black folk go away.
Which college was this?
It just says a college in England, Ted. I have no idea.
Oh, I like that it even named the college.
We don't want to know.
We're not going to tell you.
Dreaming of a white campus. That's hilarious. Did nobody proofread?
You should host the Image Awards, Mike. I got a joke for you.
I got a joke. Look at this campus in England, eh?
Funny stuff, right?
You want to know if you're dreaming of a white campus.
Hey, talking to you, Howard.
Take it away, Kramer.
Right. Michael Richards, everyone.
Two guys in Chicago are suing Lyft and claim a female driver pulled a gun on them after they told her she made a wrong turn.
Well,
She also happened to be wearing a T-shirt that said, "It's my birthday, bitch."
It's my birthday, bitch.
I'm going to take the road. I'm going to take the day.
Why are you working on your birthday? Driving cars. Come on. Pulling guns on people in Chicago. Of course, that ain't nothing. You haven't experienced it in Chicago. That was nothing, man. All righty. What does it say here? Would you let your company start paying you in Bitcoin if it came with a 10% bonus?
Maybe. If I knew how to spend it.
yeah, if I knew anything about
A
it.
company
maybe.
in Japan plans to start doing it next year. I don't understand what Bitcoin was. From my understanding, it was basically just online currency.
Yep.
Sure.
But I don't know why we needed an alternative currency because I already have digital money.
Well, part of the reason, I believe there are a lot more tax loopholes and things like that. For the Bitcoin, it was only recognized by certain services. So if you were kind of aware of those services, then that's what you would trade in, and you avoided paying taxes to the Fed on stuff. But now that it's getting more mainstream, obviously things are going to change. But
Exactly.
my understanding is that's why people were dealing with it initially.
It's also a form of global currency.
Right.
Where it doesn't matter
it's
where you
accepted
are.
anyway.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
The exchange rate's the same.
Yeah, and you guys are nuts if you think that the IRS is going to try to find their way.
Well, of course, that's what we're
Get your
saying.
hands
If
on
it's
that
going to go
money.
mainstream,
They're going to get their cut.
your grubby little green talons on my Bitcoin. Suck my bits.
A 23-year-old bride from Nebraska recently had a severe allergic reaction to one of the flowers in her bouquet,
I'll let that be a lesson.
and her eyes swelled shut.
She looked beautiful, except for them puffy, closed-ass eyes. She looked like a
Each other's-
goldfish in a wedding dress.
Take each other's hands and look into each other's eyes.
She looked like a Garden of the Galaxy.
Everybody's cheered up.
Which character are you? They took her to Comic-Con. No one noticed.
She looks like a sleeping chameleon.
You're about to marry a sleeping chameleon. You can go ahead and kiss that bride. That eyeless, bloated thing. Go ahead and kiss the sea creature.
A little smooch.
Love you, babe. I love you, too. I do. My throat's closed.
Take the bouquet. My sister recently had her wedding, and I can just imagine that.
You'd be a lot of help.
All that
I would.
work.
I'd be laughing so hard.
Did they have chicken? Did they have chicken and salmon, Mike?
What did they
No, it's
have?
not salmon. That's the bride.
I think they did. I don't remember for sure.
Okay.
And then you guys will never believe this, but a drunk man had a bad run-in with a sex toy.
Okay.
We should really coordinate, but I'm going to tell you all about it 1 hour from now.
Thank you, Mike Hawk. Headlines are coming up 1 hour from now, but first, the game is
The Men's Room presents Profile
And
This.
Steve Throwhill, could you please tell everyone how Profile This is played?
I sure can, Miles. It's a simple game where we share with you a real-life news story, something that happened right here on planet Earth. And as you listen to the story, based on the stereotypes you believe to be true of people and the decisions that people make, we'll ask you what it is you think makes the story a story. Hello, Austin. Welcome to the Men's Room.
Hola.
All right, Austin, you understand how this here game is played?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, I'm confident. Man, oh man. You should do motivational speaking. All right, here is your story. A 53-year-old doctor. He's a liver, spleen, and pancreas surgeon at Birmingham, England. Now, he was in court this week and admitted to signing his initials on 2 patients' livers. Now, during the transplants back in February and August of 2013, he used a tool called an argon beam coagulator. But I assume you already knew that. And he used that to carve his initials into the livers. Now, normally, the tool is used to sketch out the areas that you're going to operate on the liver. He used them to burn his initials. Now, another surgeon noticed the initials about a year later during a different operation on one of those patients. So he alerted the hospital. This guy resigned a couple of years ago, but he finally had his trial this week. He pleaded guilty to assault. He'll be sentenced next month. Now, the question for you is, listen carefully. This is a doctor in Birmingham, England. Was he black, white, Asian, or Jew?
I'm not sure. What do you guys think?
Well, does like South or Southern Asia count?
Yeah, absolutely.
So you could be like Indian or something.
That's why, yeah.
All right. Because when you said in England, I was like...
Well, yeah, in England, right?
Yeah.
And it's a doctor, so yeah, absolutely. Black, white, Asian, or Jewish, all on the table. Curveballs, hey?
Yeah. And a lot of the Indian dudes I'm friends with all lived in England as well.
Sure.
And English people love...
huge.
Right, they love curry.
Huge population there, absolutely.
Yeah, it's like us eating Mexican food or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, man, I think just because that alone, I might lean Asian.
Okay, Austin, what are you thinking?
Also. I'm thinking Asian also.
Okay. Guy wrote his initials on the livers of patients.
Because you would have gotten away with it, except like if someone had complications, and so another doctor had to do a different surgery. It's like, these are the initials of the guy that works down the hall. I mean, like, what the hell are you doing, man?
Okay.
That's a bold move, too.
Yeah, especially when the other doctor finds it, like, if it says, like, TTS. But, hey, Ted, come here for a second. Hey, the Ted Smith. Remember that surgery you did on this person? Like, oh, my bad.
And, like, nobody's ever going to see an organ. Why are you bragging?
Would you draw a penis?
Depends on who it is.
No, good call.
You going to stick with Asian? Final answer.
He is.
Okay, we're going to find out if he was black, white, Asian, or Jewish next.
That was a tease.
You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
We return to the men's room with Miles and Thrill.
Well, finally, this takes us to England and a surgeon who was doing some surgery there, but he decided to leave his mark by leaving his initials, basically, I guess, kind of etched on the livers of his patients.
Yes, Miles. And don't act like you don't know that. One thing that Miles and I talk about a lot, and it's just one of those things, are argon beam coagulators. Mm-hmm. Right, so he used one of those and basically cauterized his initials onto the livers of two separate patients.
Okay.
But the thing is, he ended up getting caught. And, well, Austin, we asked you, do you believe that they were black, white, Asian, or Jewish? And in the end, you agreed with Ted and said Asian. Oh, God damn it. I hit the... Hold on. I didn't do it right. You said Asian. White. I mean, it's a white guy in England, which is not that strange. So the only way... I just like the story. So I'm like, if I add Asian, drop Mexi, and add Jew, and we're talking doctors... See, you're a racist anyway.
Yeah. Doctors in England, yeah.
Right. Everyone relax. You're still racist. I know. It's okay. It's okay.
Now for all the TV news all the time, it is time for TV Time with Ted.
And now, because your pathetic life is confined to countless hours in front of a talking box, the Men's Room presents TV Time with Ted.
So if you watch local news, if there's a snow event, what do?
Snowpocalypse, this, that,
right. Good call. I didn't think about that.
Oh, damn it, man. See, I felt confident. Now I just feel like a jackass.
Thought you were going to say they send reporters out there to give snow reports.
Okay, well, they do that.
Too,
I was getting there, but you gave us the face where now I feel like a jackass for insulting our local news people, you know? I'm sorry, guys. I really thought that's where Ted was going. Now I'm out here on an island, and I've insulted you.
Well, it's funny.
My apologies. I'm sorry.
I just didn't think about that when I was thinking about that line.
God damn. I mean, but you set us up.
Yeah.
What do you think about? Like this. Mm-hmm. Like, not me.
Let's just get into it. What do you honestly feel about local news?
You know what?
I'm kidding.
Listen, no. It's this. If I'm the weather person, not the main weather person. I feel like the main weather person, maybe they send you outside, but you're still standing next to the building that you work. But generally speaking, you need to be back in front of the green screen. However, your minions that work for you, poor little Sally out there who has driven 80 miles away, even from your broadcast area, but just wants to let you know how bad the snow is in this podunk town that no one's going to visit. She might have to stay the night in a motel there just so you can give her 2 minutes to say, it's really freaking cold and windy, and the blizzard is exactly as bad as you predicted. In fact, I haven't seen our cameraman in 25 minutes, and I hear wolves. And they send your ass out there.
Yep. I'll say this. I think as far as the local news goes and what your opinion of it is, I think the local news is a lot like cigarettes.
They already love the comparison.
Once you find a brand, you stick with it, and it's one of those things where once you find your thing,
and they're cancerous and will kill you,
then you rarely switch over to the other local channels to watch. Once you find your news team, once you find the cast you like, you kind of stick with it.
I don't want to go through a big thing. There's been some tumult locally here with a lot of new anchors that I am not familiar with, and I found you're right. I'm now going. I don't know which local team I like most. Because it depends on the day. Like on Sunday, I have my team, and I'm like, all right, you're here, right? But they're there Sunday. And then something changes, and it's different field reporters now. And I know people hate change, and I make fun of people that hate it. I hate it, too. So, I'm seriously, and this sucks, but right now I'm, at a limbo with the different local news. And I just want the one I'm going to put on.
Yeah, I don't know that I have a favorite. I have one,
Stop kissing her ass.
I was going to say, I think I choose on things I don't like.
Okay.
Sure. Does that make sense? So instead of having a favorite, I'm just like, nah, I don't like this.
This is bad.
And it depends on
I don't know her name. There's one weather person who's been here maybe a year, and I'm like, man, she is hot. So but she's going to tell him the same thing as anyone else, but I'd rather listen to her.
It also depends on what it is. Is it the morning news team? Is it the afternoon news team?
Do you watch morning news?
Yeah.
I really don't.
What is that?
That was crazy.
What in the hell was that weird noise?
That was wild. What happened there? I don't know what he's doing.
Does he know he can hear us? We can hear him?
I don't know, but he better not cuss. Hey, Mike.
Hey, Mike. Mike Hodgson.
He won't
hear you.
Uh-oh. Yeah, he's just looking very confused. The good thing is even with an open mic, we know the Mike Hawk won't cuss.
Right. You know what? Of all the people, honest to God, he's the one guy where you don't have to worry about it.
Right.
Any of the rest of us, you'd run down the hall and be like, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Immediately.
Yeah, with Mike, you're like, you know what? He doesn't even have to know it's open. He's not going to say anything.
I took my 3 fingers. Oh, what?
Right. First, you steam the rice, boil it, then you add the butter. I was going to say, in his defense, that intercom system, he's just talking through studios.
Oh, yeah.
Generally, when the mic's on, it cuts off.
Well, the problem is, I know who he's talking to, and that guy.
That guy.
I'm
looking at you, VD. All right. So, also, when there's a storm, they send people out, right?
Sure.
And you're right. So are you still hearing it? Oh, and sometimes, you're one of the newer people or whatever. So basically what happens here, her name is Amy DuPont. She's out of a station in Milwaukee. And basically she's going to do a live hit, right? Like, hey, we're out in the snow. So her and the cameraman are kind of talking about.
In Milwaukee, that's news.
The snow is good for snowballs. And the cameraman gets excited. In her face.
Oh,
I'm so sorry.
What, did he hit her with a snowball in the face?
Yes.
That was on camera?
Yes.
So
now, they haven't cut to her yet.
I have an update for you. This morning I was telling you that it wasn't quite snowball fight ready. I don't know if you can see that my face is wet. My photographer that I'm working with this morning just got me in the face with a snowball. So clearly it is great snow for snowball fights.
All right. I'm going to play it again and listen very closely. So they haven't gone to her yet. So she's just standing there,
right, holding the mic,
looking happy, smiling, hair, makeup's on point. And then the thud you hear is a snowball from about 2 feet away hitting her in the face. Right? Right. You can just kill him after that. But yeah, man. He just wound up and hit her.
All right, listen.
By the way, you can see that video at the Men's Room Facebook page. Please watch that video. It's fun. I feel bad for her, but it's funny.
I have to take a quick aside, and it reminded me of this, all right? So our producer, Robin Fox, okay, TV and all this kind of thing. Robin is a big fan of Shark Week, okay? And one of her things we find out today, she always wanted to go down and one of those shark cages, and we're talking great white sharks, and do that thing, right? Go down the shark cage, see sharks. So someone from the TV world, Discovery Channel or something, has reached out to her, and it looks like maybe in the next few months, and you could even be on TV for this, that you would go down in a shark cage to, I don't know, feed the sharks, look at the sharks, whatever you crazy-ass mofos do when you decide to get closer to a great white. But here's the thing.
Well, totally white.
So we said, look, man, and she's telling us this, and I'm saying why I think I want you to do it because I get it bucket list. It's stupid. And sorry, right? And Miles was like, well, should we just take out an ad for a new producer now?
Just because start the process.
But Robin, I want you to understand this. It's just this. On the off chance, and you agreed to get any footage, like basically in the event that you die.
Oh, yeah.
They will send the footage to us. And the reason why is this, and I'm not kidding. We said, look, we would have to go on the air, all right, and say, listen, a lot of you have been asking where Robin is, and we have to assure you that the words that you hear coming out of our mouth, we're not joking. This is not a joke. This is not a scam. Robin Fox was bitten in half by a great white shark.
Dead.
And no one is going to believe that.
No, they won't.
Not a single person on earth is going to believe that. So I wanted to make the statement now, months in advance of you possibly being the big thing, the finale of Shark Week. Watch a human being get bitten in half when the cage door breaks open.
Now let's toast.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Our shot of the day today.
Could happen.
The dearly departed
We don't
Robin
know.
Fox.
I think that would be a first on Shark Week, though.
I think it would too, and I just want to show Michael Phelps at this point, who said, "I'll get in the water with one." I will actually get in the water with them.
You know what? That's a strong point, man.
I'll be in a cage, but don't we all know that they squeeze in there sometimes?
Well, you know, she went through this whole
Can
thing.
you request where which areas you're going to go shark swimming?
You go to a specific spot. It's like off Baja, in like right
where the
below.
sharks are big, dude. Trust me.
Right, it's where they all gather once a year and
Mating
they
season.
they mate.
Oh
and
yeah,
they
down there on the
feed.
peninsula.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
You sharks headed to Mexico.
Yeah, let's get crazy.
They're hopped up on tequila. They're all down there doing the same thing.
Yeah. So
Well,
I'm like,
maybe you should request South Africa so you can see air jaws.
Yeah, but then I don't get in the water with them.
Oh.
This is like I'm in the cages with them. I don't want to just be on a boat seeing them jumping. I mean, that's cool.
I want to be really stupid.
Right. Again.
I want to go where they are.
Right.
You just got to drop the line from Jaws. Everybody always knows that we need a bigger boat line. But remember when Richard Dreyfuss, the original Jaws, has to get in there in that shark cage, and he goes to spit in his mask, and he goes, I got no spit.
Yeah.
Right.
I promise I will do that for you. Yeah.
Actually, she was going through and said, look, man.
Yeah, make sure you have fun and drop all the funny lines before you go into this dangerous thing for your life.
Absolutely.
And die.
And they'll send you all the footage that they have so that we can prove it's real.
And by the way, she did tell me, she's like, they have all these safety precautions. Like, the things just don't break open. It's not going to drop to the bottom of the sea. They don't rip it open. And luckily, Ryan Castle's in there. And he goes, that's why they call them accidents. That's right.
It could happen.
Yeah, and I've seen the video of the great white just sitting on top of the cage thrashing.
Yeah.
Trying to get back down in them.
Yeah.
But coolest way to go. Just saying.
It is badass.
Yeah,
like, what happened to Robin, dude? Honest to God, bit in half by a great white.
That's the coolest tombstone. I will win that race.
The only animal I think that might top that, if you have to get eaten by an animal, polar bear.
Ooh.
Maybe.
That's brutal.
Although, Robin, I will
feel
say
like that
this.
would be a lot slower.
Think about it. As far as a tombstone, if you're bitten in half by a great white shark, a tombstone is already the shape of the Jaws poster.
Oh, gosh, I hope so.
Like, wouldn't we
angle.
carve the shark's face in before
I'll get
we
it all in writing. You guys just follow
Yes.
through on it for me. Thank
We're
you.
preparing for Robin's death. Sorry, Ted. It was just a quick aside, but it reminded me.
Shark Week update.
Shark Week update.
We lost Robin.
Robin gonna die. Bitten in half by a great white shark, and we're not joking.
Yeah, she knew it was dangerous. All right. Let's see here. Have you guys, obviously you've heard that this is kind of TV because Omarosa.
That's how we know her.
Yeah, does she have a last name?
Yeah, it's like two names.
Something with an M, maybe?
It's like Mukalagalonga, but like the middle name. No, like French, dude.
All right.
Like French. Ted just gave me a face. Like, come on.
Just
It's like Margot. I don't know how you say it. Like the way it's spelled is not the way it's said. I'm pretty sure it's French. I was not going back to her roots. I don't mean to call you out, but clearly the look you gave me was like, come on, man.
Like, on
Like,
Twitter, she's just Omarosa. So, like, I
Because
think
that's all
she's
we
in
know
the
her.
Madonna Cher world, you know,
But
where
in
she's
the
just
news,
the one named person.
And what's funny, because in the news, every time they bring her up now, because she's in the news, they give her full name, and I'm like, we know who Omarosa. It's like Oprah. You know, if they're Oprah Winfrey. Like, I thought you meant Oprah. Oprah Johnson. Like, we know. If you say Omarosa, like, we know the one Omarosa you freaking heard of, man.
I'm going to start doing that. Oprah's coming by. Who? Oprah Johnson.
Oprah Johnson? Damn.
With cookies.
Right.
I'm with you. I don't know why. I feel like if you invite Oprah Johnson over, she's got to bring, I don't know what the food is, but she's bringing something.
And it's very good.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Because her
She's
name
famous
is
for-
Oprah Johnson. I mean, that's all you need to hear. I would try Oprah Johnson's anything.
Heck yeah.
And I mean anything, mama.
Anything you want, fella. So obviously, Omarosa has been in the news. She got, or she left the White House. I shouldn't say she
We
got.
don't know.
Right. There's conflicting stories. It was funny. Mike asked me today. He goes, was she on Celebrity Apprentice and this and that? And I go, she might have gone back, but I go, like, she was just on, I want to say, the original season.
Something.
And
Like, she wasn't a celebrity until after she did The
finished,
Apprentice.
like, 8th, I want to say. So it wasn't even like she
No,
was.
she was a turbo bitch and everyone remembered her. It's not like she did anything successfully. I mean, as far as how we got to know her, it's that she was an insufferable freaking bitch. And everyone remembered her, and she didn't mind being an insufferable bitch. So when they invited her back, knowing that she'd get negative press, she was like, hell yeah. It's a credit to her, man. She doesn't care.
Yeah. So Robin Roberts, you would remember her from ESPN, hosting morning shows. She's a pretty, she's also survived cancer, I want to say, twice.
Is she like Good Morning America or something?
Yeah, she's on Good Morning America. She basically went from ESPN over to Good Morning America. It's still within Disney, ABC, all that kind of stuff.
Gosh, I got another job for you. Get up a little earlier, but it pays well.
Robin Roberts is generally just, I don't know. This seemed a little, I don't want to say aggressive. Either way, she usually just reports the news. It doesn't put a personal spin on it. But when she was talking about Omarosa, she added in one funny comment at the end.
She said she has a story to tell, and I'm sure she'll be selling that story.
We'll see.
Well, yeah, she will. Bye, Felicia.
Yeah. All right. When she says bye, Felicia, if you're not familiar with the movie Friday, like that is just a general term. It's almost kind of like F off.
Yeah.
So it's just like, I don't want to deal with you, this and that. So I'm just like, when I saw that, I was like, damn, Robin Roberts.
Getting after. She's got it in her, man.
Yeah, talking spicy. Good morning, America.
You talking spicy, Robin. I like the spicy side of you. Who else you hate? Let's talk about them.
Get it out.
Right.
Go ahead, tell them, talk to the hand or something.
Sticking with morning show news, former Today Show host, Billy Bush. Basically, we've talked about him. He's been out of a job.
Isn't it Billy Bush? I think that's how he wants it pronounced. There's 17 H's at the end.
He should do that. He should just change his name.
Why not? Oh, that was Billy Bush.
Yeah,
I'm
we'll
not
still
Billy
know who he
Bush.
is he getting a job?
So, Us Magazine says basically he's been talking to some networks. He's pitching a new show, this and that. It's basically him in the morning news talk. But it's the same thing. It's like people still won't hire him because they think like he's bad for sexual misconduct. And I don't know.
Like, how am I the poster boy? 85 goddamn people have been accused. I never said anything. And somehow I'm the poster boy of this?
Tamron Hall, she's still out there pitching a morning show as well. You remember she got basically squeezed out of the Today Show for Megyn Kelly.
Okay.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, so she's still out there trying to get some morning shows. So I don't know. Hopefully they'll get some jobs. All right, Miles, I think you hit on this earlier today, but Disney did acquire what is it? Fox?
Fox, yes.
21st Century Fox. So there's a lot of stuff going on. They acquired a bunch of the stuff. I don't know if they took it all, but they acquired a bunch of it.
A lot of franchises, like the Deadpool franchise. They got movie-wise, and then they got a bunch of TV
got Die
franchises.
Hard, Avatar, Alien, Predator. Didn't Predator have to fight the Alien?
Yeah, one time, sure.
Who won that one, Alien versus Predator?
I don't know. The movie sucked. I stopped halfway.
Mike, can you help me out there? I feel like Predator won this one, right?
At least in the first movie, Predator did win that one, yeah.
Attaboy, Predator.
Okay.
The movie. Anyhow. Just as that word came out of my mouth, like, this is not a good time to be.
We'll just isolate that clip and just sink your future.
Right.
Jesus Christ. Alien versus Predator. This time you cheer for the alien. Right. Harvey Weinstein. Starring in Alien versus Predator. With a special guest appearance from Bill Cosby.
Right.
Al Franken.
Predator with the dreadlocks. That's what I was talking about. That's
Any Predator.
But yeah, they acquired some of the TV stuff too. So Disney just got their hands on 24 American Horror Story, which when I think Disney, I think American Horror Story.
Always.
Empire, another Disney classic. Homeland, The X-Files, This Is Us. That fits in perfect.
Disney I thought it was called We Be This. Maybe I got that wrong.
We Be Us.
Welcome back to We Be This.
Given statistics after Christmas, like We Was Us.
Right. We was like that.
But all I know about This Is Us, as I always say, it makes you cry. Disney movies make you cry. But they also got Family Guy and The Simpsons. Those are some pretty massive things they just upgraded on.
But it's a $54 billion deal.
I mean, one day, Disney owns enough of this stuff now. They got to have all those cartoons together, right?
You would think so.
I think 10 years from now, I go to Disney World, it'll be a different experience.
Yeah.
Eat my shorts. Gosh, I wish you hadn't said that.
Thank you, Ted. There we go. We got your headlines coming up with Mike Hawk in minutes. You are listening to the Men's Room Radio Network.
The Men's Room returns with Miles and Thrill. Now, let's see what's happening in the real world.
All right, here we go as we head to England, where a man is seen running down the street yelling and chasing a rooster that kept him up all night. Meanwhile, it could have been the 30-inch sex toy that made his rectum not feel so tight. To Orlando, where a man steals swan boat that gets stuck in the middle of the lake. Meanwhile, a man burns down the strip club so his girlfriend can no longer dance and shake. And survey says people are calling Ubers over ambulances. It is time for your headlines.
Now, it's time to hit the headlines. Here's Mike Hawk.
All right, our top story. Never before heard. First man on the scene. A drunk man wallowed his way into the hospital after having injured himself while pleasuring himself. He came into the hospital with a 2.5-foot-long sex toy protruding from his anus.
What kind of sex toy?
Yes. It was I don't even want to call it the long penis-y one because 2.5 feet is beyond long penis-y.
Really long penis-y.
That's inhuman phallic penis-y thing.
It's a big one.
Inhuman phallic. I hope one day you get to label the sections of a sex shop.
Tentacle penis.
30 inches of dildo.
Turns out that he had gotten drunk and wanted to perform a sex act on himself and managed to perforate his bowel with the toy. I actually have a diagram as to what happened to him.
Oh, good.
And it's really quite nasty.
But that's fascinating.
Yeah, because it's 30 inches up the...
Yeah, I'm never going to find out why that would be a problem.
Wow. So, I didn't know this, but...
Wow. That looks... When you see the diagram, dude, it looks much worse. Like, that thing was, like, taking turns and curving around stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Oh!
Yeah,
I didn't realize that the rectum was actually, like, a bigger cavity than just kind of a door. And he actually pierced through that, so he didn't go into the intestine or anything like that. He's just kind of going willy-nilly inside of his guts.
It looks like one of the snakes from
the...
it looks like one of the snakes from, like, the doctor symbol.
Yeah, except that one was hurting him.
Mm-hmm.
All right, around the world, probably my favorite headline of the week comes from Metro News, but unfortunately, they're British media and can get away with what I can't. It says, quote, pensioner tries to batter rooster, that's the only edit, after he kept him up all night.
But it wasn't a rooster, was it? Hey, look, man, if you go to a Chinese restaurant, a lot of times on the menu itself, it'll say, oh, hell yeah, like the year of the blank, right?
Right.
So there's the year of the, what is it? The year of the monkey, the year of the dragon, the year of the rat, the year, but... And the menus I've seen, it says the year of the cock, which incidentally, 1969 was one of the years of the cock, which is the year I was born. And when I read that out loud, my mother, and this is no joke, said, that explains so much. That's how I was raised.
And the reason why they call it that is because the full term is actually called a cockerel.
A cockerel?
That is a different term for a rooster is a cockerel.
Okay.
That's why they've shortened it up to that. Anyway, there is a video of a pensioner chasing a rooster around with a driver, like his golf club. That happened on his 65th birthday, but the animal just continued to elude him in a fairly comical manner.
Yeah, because he had a golf club, and it's like,
chasing
I don't want to die.
die.
He keeps chasing with the golf club. I'm going to keep running. That rooster's not stupid.
All right, we go to Orlando, where a man managed to strand himself after stealing a swan boat. In the middle of the night, the man managed to steal a swan paddle boat and made his way to the statue in the center of a memorial fountain.
I'm pretty sure I know what is Ted. Is that the same hotel we think it is with that huge ass lake? The hotel that has the swans on top.
Is that at Disney World?
Yes. And then there's that big lake, and then there's this huge swan fountain in the middle of it.
Yeah.
I'm going to strip the name
I
of this
think
thing,
that's
too.
the lake that he's talking about.
Lake Eola?
In Orlando, right?
Yes.
I think that's the one, man.
Linton E. Allen Memorial?
I don't know.
Anyway, he stole a swan boat, made his way out there, and he was, I don't know, chilling out on the fountain or something like that. I don't know, but he was out there in the middle of the lake on this memorial, and then the boat floated away. So he stranded in the middle of the lake.
That's what it's got to be.
I think so, too.
So firefighters did eventually had to come and rescue the man from his perch. I'm just thinking, you stole a swan boat, okay? You've committed a crime here.
Sure.
You really need rescue to come get you? You're not just going to get wet? Jump in the lake and swim to the side. Then again, it is Florida. Never mind.
Yeah, you get in the water.
I thought about that.
That's
just
what I'm saying, man. You don't know what's in there. You do not know what's in there. I think that might have been the right call.
See, I was thinking that the entire time leading up to this, and then when it finally came out of my mouth, I was like,
it seems like the more you get to the middle of Florida, the more alligators there are. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like,
man. Absolutely.
I also think maybe he's just not a strong swimmer. If he's out in the middle of the lake, maybe he's not confident.
Maybe. Then he shouldn't have been on the lake, Ted. Just saying, you can't swim, get off the water.
Also, you shouldn't steal the boat.
Yeah, that's how it works too. All right, Miles, in West Virginia.
Oh, boy.
A jealous boyfriend that didn't like where his girlfriend worked took things to the extreme. Not happy that his girlfriend worked at a strip club, he attempted to force the club to close down by burning it to the ground.
That'll get him.
While watching from across the street, he managed to damage a lot of the building before firefighters arrived on the scene and police arrested him. He has been charged with second-degree arson, but he did get what he wanted because the manager said that if he manages to make bail, he can't risk keeping his girlfriend as a dancer.
Oh,
yeah.
Which I think is a legitimate... I mean, it's a legitimate argument, but at the same time...
I'm sure that he is proud.
Giving into terrorism there. It just...
You should talk to him, Mike.
You're dating a stripper. You knew that before you started dating her, that you were dating a stripper.
They're 21, though. She might have picked up the job after they were already dating.
Man, he knew what he was getting into. He was dating a stripper.
I think, as Castle likes to say, you knew where the train was going when you bought the ticket.
Yes, you did.
That's right.
I mean, I'm with you. I got no issue with dating a stripper, but I don't know. Maybe
you got to know where she's going to work.
But how do you know Sally's going to turn into a stripper?
By looking at her, Ted.
Sally,
you met
dude.
Sally? Man.
See the way that she dresses?
Freaking Sally? Are you kidding me?
She's a nice girl.
People?
She went out and got fake boobs for her 20th birthday. Gonna be a stripper.
How do you know Sally that well?
Yeah,
Because maybe I was watching Sally from the other side of the room.
Strippers. Say, well, you know her that well.
Right. The first time she made me an Americano, I knew she was headed to the pole.
That and an English lit major.
Yeah.
Liberal arts. That's it for your headlines with that. Mike Hawk is out.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We'll see you next time for the random question. Your guess is as good as mine and men's room rules.
Yes, indeed. All that stuff that Miles just said so that I don't have to. All right, please, we're out of here. Until we return, please do what you do best. And for Aletha's sake, stay beautiful.